Welcome to This Side of 50, the podcast where men of all ages come to gain clarity, confidence, and direction. I'm Milton K. Smith, your host, a seasoned voice that's living, learning, and leveling up. I'm here to share with you knowledge, understanding, and wisdom that I've gained throughout the years. Each week, we'll tackle real-life challenges, share practical tools, and hopefully inspire you to keep going. If you're ready to gain clarity, confidence, and direction, then this is your podcast. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thank you so much for joining with us on this episode. This is This Side of 50. Like, share, subscribe this podcast. If you found value in it, share it with someone else. This is our last episode for this season, but I want you to be on the lookout for our study guide. It'll be out shortly, and you can use that to further study, further jump deeper into the lessons we've talked about over the last few weeks. Thank you all so much once again. This week, we're going to talk about address the knots. One of the things that's caused me so much pain in CrossFit is when the muscles would knot up, get tight, and you could feel those lumps, and you would have to take that lacrosse ball or that roller or sometimes even the barbell and try to roll those knots out. Knots, sometimes they could just stop you from performing on that day, stop you from exercising that day. And it can be so painful. But we want to address those knots. The worst mistake that you can make is not addressing those knots in your body, those knots in your life. So let's talk about it. Let's take a look at it. Unresolved tension in life mirrors tight muscles in the body. So what's causing those knots and what caused those knots during the times that I was experiencing them was actually just tight muscles that we've stretched, we've used, we've pushed to the max, and then they contract, get tight, and they knot up, right? Like a bolt. It's a knot tied in them. And you have to rub those things out. That's tension. Unresolved tension in your life. It's just like that. If you're going through stress, if you have contentions, if you have unforgiveness, if you feel offended by things that cause tension in your life, then you're going to have those tight mental muscles, those tight emotional muscles, those tight physical muscles, whatever the case may be. That's that unresolved tension. And if you want to see progress, if you want to get past that, you're going to have to massage those knots, address those knots, and get them out of your life. The longer you avoid a knot, the deeper it embeds. The longer you just ignore the situation, the longer you fail to address the tension in your life or the stress or the things that are causing you problems, those uncomfortable conversations that create discomfort we talked about last episode, those fears that we don't deal with today, the longer those things are avoided, the deeper they get embedded in your life, get embedded in your mind, in your psyche, and it becomes harder to be free from those things. So you want to address them, right? Address those knots. Healing requires pressing through the pressure. So when I would roll those knots out, sometimes it would hurt God awful so bad, mine. And you just had to keep pressing and pressing. If anyone has ever tried to massage or roll out their IT bands, one of the most painful experiences that you can have is trying to massage or roll out an IT band. But the more you do it, the more you get that tension out, the better you feel and the better you're able to perform. That's how it is with your life, with your career, with your health, with your emotional status, your mental state. The more you can get rid of that tension, you can massage that tension, you address those things that are causing you conflict, the more you can heal. And that healing requires that you press through those knots and press through that pressure. Oftentimes, God reveals pain to release peace. There's a certain pleasure, a certain euphoria you get when you can roll those knots out, right? It helps you feel better. Those endorphins are released. You get a feeling of relaxation and you're able to perform at a higher level because you've gotten those knots out your life. You can experience that same thing in every area of life, not just in your physical fitness, but in your mental fitness, your spiritual fitness, your career fitness, all those things. You just have to address that and find that area of peace in your life. Peace is very important. There's one of my posts out there that says, and at 25, I wanted abs. And at 55, I want peace. So think about that. Massaging your spiritual knots frees you to move in purpose again. Not just your spiritual knots, massaging your spiritual knots. Not just that, massaging your emotional knots, massaging your financial knots. Anytime you can get the knots out of your life, Anytime you can move those out, you can operate in your purpose. When I would be in CrossFit and there was a knot in my hamstring or a knot in my quad, I couldn't do squats like I wanted to. I could push through it and have some level of accomplishment, I guess, if I want to say that I made it through. But I was never quite as successful with those knots being unaddressed as I was when I was not free, or when I had addressed those things in my shoulders and my back, whatever the case, in my abs. So knots will keep you from operating your purpose. It'll keep you from performing to your potential. It'll keep you from achieving your goals, getting to your destiny. It will delay you. And the longer you allow those knots to exist, the longer it'll take you to accomplish your dreams, accomplish your goals. Stop right now and ask yourself, or say to yourself rather, as long as I have knots, there will be pain. Just tell yourself that. As long as I have knots, there will be pain. If you want to get rid of the pain, then you have to tell yourself, I have to get rid of the knots. As long as I allow those knots in my quads and my hamstrings, my calf muscles, my triceps, biceps, my abs, whatever, wherever they were, as long as I allow them to remain, I was going to have to deal with the pain. If I didn't want to deal with the pain, I had to go through the process of massaging those knots out, using the lacrosse ball, using rollers, actually going to a local massage business and allowing the technician, the therapist to do what they do. You have to address that pain. You have to massage that tension away. If it's something mental, if it's something emotional, you're going to have to address it. As uncomfortable as it is, ask yourself, do you want to deal with the temporary discomfort of addressing it, or the long-term discomfort of letting it embed and getting deeper in your life? The longer you leave knots unaddressed, the longer the pain continues. The longer you leave those things unresolved in your life, the longer the pain is going to continue. Ask yourself, if I've had this knot for 3 days, 3 months, 3 weeks, 3 years, do I want to spend another 3 days, 3 months, 3 weeks, 3 years, whatever the case, with this pain? And if that answer is no, then you're going to have to address it, right? When it comes to your health, unreleased tension keeps you bound. Release of that tension brings relief. So in your health, if you want to see yourself free and experience freedom in your health, you're going to have to address those things. You have to address your weight. You're going to have to address your diet. If you have a particular sickness that you're dealing with, you're going to have to go through the process of remediating those sicknesses and going to the doctor, getting your lab work done, doing your annual tests. All those things, man, we have to do that so that we can have relief in our lives and not deal with the health tension, the health stress, the health knots that sometimes take us out before our time, sometimes it causes us not to be able to live the life that we want to live, the degree of freedom that we want to have. But we have to address the knots in our health, right? We have to address those. When it comes to our finances, unmanaged debt is an emotional and a financial knot. Men, we know that when we don't feel financially secure, that deals with our level of significance, right? As men, we love feeling significant. Women love security for the most part. They want that security. Men want that significance, right? We want to know that we matter. We want to know that we're making a difference. And when we have unmanaged debt, it messes with our psyche. It messes with our emotions. It messes with our self-esteem, where we don't feel the man we want to be. Actually, we don't feel like we're important. We don't feel validated. Those are knots. So unmanaged debt becomes a knot. I can fix that problem by managing my debt. I can get help. I can seek a financial advisor. Remember we talked last week, deciding, is this a need or is this a want? You know, is this a need or is this a want? If it's a want, I can let it go. I can put that on the back burner and deal with my needs. I don't have to have the latest trend. I don't have to have the latest fashion. I don't have to have, I don't have to be like the movie stars and all that and have what they have and showboat and try to be great and be grand. I can work within my budget so that I can get my debt under control, so that I can get rid of the emotional and financial knot. In relationships, unspoken pain poisons peace. You got to talk it out. We can't hold it in, man. We got to stop using the moniker that men are strong, men don't have problems, whatever. I think we've gotten past that point. But if in case you haven't yet, it's okay to say that you need help. It's okay to talk to someone. It's okay to say that, hey, I'm not okay mentally. I need a therapist. I've gone to a therapist. One of the best decisions I made. It's okay to say that you're not strong. It's okay to say I'm weak in this area. I need someone to help me. I need someone to help me walk it through. I need someone to talk it out with me. That's what men do, and that's what it requires, especially as you get older. You should be able to be honest with yourself. It's okay not to be okay. It's okay to have problems that you need help. Find someone, find a brother, find a friend, find someone that you can sit down and you can just let your hair down, men. If we want to use that, just talk it out. Just say, hey, this is what's going on. I just had to get this off my chest. Suicide is not the answer. And if you're experiencing that, please get help. Call someone, reach out to me on my email, my social media page, whatever the case may be. But don't allow that knot in your relationship to take you out. Don't allow that knot in your relationship to continue any longer after today. In your career, ignored stress builds burnout. Untie it early. So, if your career is stressing you out, you're going to have to find balance. Men, I know you're pushing, you're grinding, you're on the grind. You got to put the work in. I know all that. Entrepreneurs, I know that you got to work, but you also got to have balance, because if not, you will burn yourself out, and you'll find that you will mentally be debilitated, right? You'll be mentally deficient. You'll be mentally drained. You'll be emotionally drained. You'll be just existing. And what good? What does it profit you to gain all this and lose your mind and lose your peace and to be burnt out and not be able to enjoy it? What does it profit you to have the knots of stress keep you from enjoying the work and the effort that you put in to building that career, to building that business, to building that relationship, whatever? Don't allow that to happen. So ignored stress builds burnout. Deal with your stress. Take a vacation. Go to the gym. Learn how to take a break. Learn how to laugh. Don't all money's not good money. You can't make all the money. So balance things out. And then forgiveness unravels emotional knots. Freedom starts within. So while you're forgiving others, and you should forgive others, you first of all, though, have to forgive yourself. You have to tell yourself, if you made mistakes, I made these mistakes, I've learned from these mistakes, and I'm not going to make these mistakes again. Here's the area that I weak in. Here's where I struggle. All of us as men, we struggle in some area. We don't have it all together. We don't dot every I, cross every T. Matter of fact, I often say that we cross some I's and we dot T's. But we have to forgive ourselves for the mistakes we made. We have to get past our regret, our feelings of, I wish I would have made different decisions back there. I wish I would have went a different way here. You got to deal with where you are now. Live in the moment. Allow yourself the freedom to say, hey, I'm growing. That was the past. I'm going to do better going forward. If you don't have a relationship with your children, have a relationship with your children. Do what you have to do. Develop that, foster that, whatever the case may be. If you have issues with your parents, you can fix those issues. Go back. Social media, texting, everything is so wonderful that if you don't feel like talking to them face to face, you can text your children. You can text your parents. You can text that person. Fix those problems. Close those gaps. Fix those emotional knots. Get those things that are in your mind that makes you stop, that keeps you from going to the next level. Address those things so that you can have freedom and you can move forward. So here's the question, our final question for the season. And hopefully these reflection moments have been of use to you, that you found value in them. What knot in your life is causing the most pain right now? And what's one thing you can do to start loosening those knots, to untie those knots? What's one thing? What knot in your life is causing you the most pain right now? Think about that and ask yourself, do you want to continue dealing with this pain, or do you want to untie this knot? Do you want to roll this knot out, massage it out so that you can experience freedom? That's going to be important throughout this remainder of this year, remainder of your life, as you progress. No matter what side of 50 that you're on, whether you're pre-50, post-50, or right at 50. You're going to have to learn how to deal with the stresses of life, and you're going to have to deal with the tensions of life and not allow those things to stop you, not allow those things to distract you, and not allow those things to keep you locked up and bound. Well, I have enjoyed this season of being with you. Hopefully this has been of value to you. We'll be back with the next season soon, so stay on the lookout, stay connected on the social media posts, things of that nature. Look out for our study guide for lessons learned from CrossFit this side of 50. It's been a pleasure being with you this season. I'll be back for season 4. Hopefully you will too. Like, share, subscribe, and I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye. Well, that's all for today on This Side of 50. If you found value in today's episode, make sure to subscribe, share with a friend, and leave a review. Connect with us on social media for updates, tips, and inspiration between episodes. Remember, keep living, keep learning, keep leveling up, and most of all, don't settle. And I'll see you in the next episode.